welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can see from the title of this video, it is going to be a Joah Brown and Boohoo try on, kind of like a high-end versus high street, more affordable clothing, to see if it's really worth spending a lot on a certain clothing item versus buying a cheaper version. I am someone that I won't spend crazy amount of money on like a normal basic, but I do try and not buy a bunch of basics that are super cheap. I think normally if a company is selling their products for super cheap, it usually either means the quality is not great, you wash it a few times and it falls apart. That's not worth your money. Two, their employees get very low wages, they're not treated well, so that's also something I don't want to support. And then lastly, usually companies that are able to sell their clothes for super cheap is fast fashion, which just contributes to a lot of waste in the world. I'm not perfect, I do sometimes fall victim to fast fashion. I think it's about striking the balance, doing the best you can, don't judge others, and just give them as much information as they ask for so they can eventually make their own, hopefully better choices. Now let's hop into the video. I'm going to be looking down at the screen because I actually already filmed the try-on portion of this video. So the first thing you see that I'm wearing here, the Boohoo oversized joggers in, I believe, sand color and large. My only comments about the joggers are that one, the drawstring is super long. I don't know why. I actually just ended up cutting it before filming this video because I am wearing the joggers, and as you'll see, the little sweatsuit as well. Otherwise, I think it's actually pretty good quality. For those of you that are wondering, I got the joggers for $14.84, which I think is a great deal. I like how the bottoms cuff for me because I have very large legs. My legs are like only a few inches smaller than my waist, like each. And so I did have to get a large so that it would be not super tight on my legs, but then it's very loose on my waist. So maybe that's why the drawstring is so long for me. But I did just roll it over a few times to make it a bit tighter and I think a bit more flattering. And then moving on to the Boohoo oversized sweat, which is what they call it on their website. I do really like this top. I think it's more flattering folded up, as you see in the video, but otherwise I really do like it. I'm wearing it now, and I just like little tracksuits like this. I think it allows you to be comfy and casual, but at the same time, if you pair it with like more exaggerated jewelry and maybe a little bit more makeup, I think it makes you look put together, but then at the same time comfy. The oversized sweat was $15.91, so a bit more than the joggers, but this whole set for about $30 I don't think is bad at all. I don't know if I pointed it out in the video. I don't know if you can see that. I do like this little detail on the cuff. I like that the sleeves are also long, which I think I tried to show in the video. I just think the oversized fit is more casual, and I did get the top in a medium. I think I could have gotten a small because, as you saw in the video, I had to tuck it up to kind of make it look the way I wanted to, but I did want it to be oversized and I didn't want the small to be too small. Wow, Pico's trying to get in. If you can hear the door moving about, he's putting his claw underneath. And the last thing I'll point out before moving on is that this Boohoo sweat does leave like little fuzzies on yourself, which I noticed later on in the video, and you'll see. The next thing I'm wearing here is Boohoo's draw cord cropped hoodie. I think this is actually super cute. Fabric is very thin, and I think it's very obvious that it's cheap. It was $14.84, and I got this in a size US 8 because I did want to make sure it wasn't too tight. I love the drawstring. I think it's a lot more flattering when the drawstring is, that's a little hard for me to say, sorry. When it's tighter on you, I think that's more flattering than when it's loose. Obviously, you can wear it both ways. It was $14.84. And then the last thing that I got from Boohoo was the scuba square neck bralette. I actually really liked this. I just ended up not keeping it because I knew I wouldn't really wear it. I don't wear things like this on a day-to-day basis. I maybe wear it if I was going out to a club or something. And I don't even remember the last time I went to a club. I would wear it maybe on vacation, but it just wasn't worth it for me to buy an item that I'd maybe wear 2 or 3 times a year. I did get the bralette in a size 6, and it was $5.31. Fabric is kind of like a silky, not silk, but kind of silk fabric, so I think it makes it look a little bit more expensive. Like, even though the bralette was only what, $5.31, I think the bralette looks a lot more expensive than the drawstring cropped hoodie, which is almost $15. Now moving on to Joah Brown. So the first thing I'm wearing is this oversized cardigan in the Sahara French Terry color. Did like this, but not as much as I thought it would. I thought that this was going to be my favorite item. That shocking $184. I can see someone justifying spending this much on a cardigan, and it is long. The actual fabric is pretty dense. I like that there is two different types of fabric in this cardigan. There's the more just like normal fabric that you'll see, and then towards the middle of the cardigan there's this more like textured fabric, if that makes sense. Like not fuzzy, but more, yeah, the best way to put it is more textured than the rest. I do think it's nice. I also think it a little bit looks like a robe. Now I wonder if that's just the color and if it would look better in another color. But yeah, I just did not like it enough for $184. All the items I showed on Joah Brown, this would probably be towards the bottom of my list. I think I showed on the screen, but I got this in one size, and I will make a I'm gonna keep it short. I'm not gonna go on a rant. But I really dislike when stores do one size anything. I try my best not to support things like that are just one size fits all, because that just is so ridiculous to think one size fits all. Even people that are the same size, like if I'm someone and if I'm wearing like a small top and someone else is wearing a small top, it's not even gonna fit us the same. Like even people that are the same size are not the same size. So it's ridiculous to make a piece of clothing and just make it one size. I think it's really excluding. I think it could be something that really hurts someone's feelings too. Like if you order something that's one size and it doesn't fit you, like that's gonna make you feel pretty bad. Like, oh, it's one size fits all and not me. Like that means, I don't know. I hate, I said I would keep it short, but I really hate when stores do that. The next thing I have here is a Joah Brown Drawcord Crop Crew. This is kind of the actual version, like the Boohoo Drawcord hoodie is kind of like the dupe version of this. This Drawcord Crop Crew is a shocking $168. I think that is a bunch, but this is actually something that I would consider keeping. I really love this. Even though it was a little bit more cropped than I would like, I thought it was really, the fabric is super thick and there's so many small details on this one little crop hoodie thing. One detail that you'll see that I kind of try and show closer up is the little lines details on the sweater, which I think just adds a little touch. And I love the collar. The collar has like all these little designs that I definitely showed a close-up on that. And then again, the wrists are cuffed. So this is actually like a really nice piece. I showed how I would wear it. I would just kind of tuck the drawcord thing in, and then I showed it from the back, which isn't helpful. Obviously, as you guys can see, I cannot roll down my sweats properly, so I apologize for that. But otherwise, this is something that I actually would recommend if you are willing to spend $168 on one piece of clothing. This would probably be my favorite one from Joah Brown. It's a one size fits all. I think it's dumb. We already went over that. On me, because I do have lats, which makes my back wide, it ended up being really short on me. So I don't know if like you don't have big lats, if you don't lift or anything, maybe it wouldn't be as short. But as you can see, I thought my boob was hanging out because it was so short when I put my hands out. It wasn't, but yeah, just keep that in mind that if you're not comfortable wearing something that is so short, maybe don't get this. But when you put the drawcord tighter, it does obviously stay securely, like your boobs aren't going to hang out that way. But I wish if it was maybe 2 or 3 inches shorter, I would consider keeping it. But $168 for one piece of clothing is steep, but I could tell this is something that is going to last you like 10-15 years, if not more, if you took care of it. And probably like even if you didn't take care of it, it was very high quality, something that I actually kind of understood the pricing to an extent. Still quite steep, but more understandable than I think anything else I tried from Joah Brown. Next thing I'm showing you from Joah Brown is their oversized joggers, and I got them in black. As you can see here, it's like the fit is a little bit weird. They're so comfy. Like they're actually the most comfortable pair of joggers I've ever tried on. But the fit is like, unless you want to have like a huge crotch, hanging crotch, which like is not the look, I think. If you're into that, go ahead. But it's not the look I want. You have to roll this thing like 5 times. And I don't know if that, I got a medium large. So if I had gotten a small medium, it just would have been way too tight on my legs. So again, that could be my body proportions. and they're now that's not one size, but they're doing this like little split size thing, which I also think is kind of dumb. But yeah, anyway, you have to roll it up a bunch of times. Other than that, I think it's great quality. I like that the bottom's cuff, but not too much. I love the oversized feel and look of them. And I do think they are quite flattering. These were $138. I'm laughing, so I just think that's so much money for joggers. Like, 138. I would, on like a good day, like I'm feeling generous, I would maybe spend $50-$60 on these joggers. I think 138 for these joggers is way too steep. Compared to the boohoo joggers, they're definitely better, like better quality. I like the fit a little bit better, other than the weird crotch thing, but I don't think they're worth nearly as much more as the boohoo. If I had to pick one, I would buy the boohoo one, because the fit just is not that much different. It's not so much better that it's worth like what, 10 times the price. Yeah, actually 10 times. No, absolutely not. And then the next thing that I got from Joah Brown was this deep V long sleeves ribbed top. This just, like, again, it was a one size thing, and this just did not fit me well at all. I don't know if it was something with my back. It was just like, I'm looking at the picture of it on the model. It definitely isn't supposed to be off the shoulder, but it was kind of off the shoulder on me, and like tight on my arms, but then like way too loose up here. Then on the bottom it was way too loose. I tried to kind of tie it in a knot and make it like a makeshift crop top, but that didn't look good. It looked kind of dumb. It just looks like the shirt didn't fit me. Then I was like, oh, well, let me tuck it into the sweats. Maybe that will work. And I think that looks a little bit better, but how it fits me is definitely not how it's supposed to fit. Like, that's not how the model shows it. So I don't know if like the model is just wearing this special version, but I don't understand how it's big on me on the top, but then like this model is tiny, 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 and it's not big at all on her. So I don't know what they're doing, if they're just manipulating their pictures. Probably makes my shoulders look, I think, more capped than they actually are. All I really want like nice, bolder capped shoulders. I think my just anatomy is not like that, because I can do whatever I want, and like it doesn't do that capped, bolder shoulder look I want. But the way this shirt is cut, I do think it makes my shoulders look nice. That's pretty much the only benefit. Otherwise, I'm just not a fan of this at all. This shirt was $92, which do not buy this. 100% do not buy this. The fabric is so thin, I don't think it's even like nice fabric, versus the Joah Brown draw cord crop. Fabric was actually thick enough and nice enough that I could tell it was nice, high quality. This one I feel like you could get on like Amazon for $5, and it would probably be better. Not to be harsh, but it's basically what I think. And I think this is the last thing. Oh no, second to last thing that I got from Joah Brown is the Free Me tank dress, and again, the one size thing. This was $52, which I actually think is sort of reasonable, especially for the reason I liked this dress is because it actually was a cut that I think is pretty unique. I haven't seen a dress like this anywhere, so I really did like it. The one downside is that this dress is way, like, it's so see-through. You can see in the video I'm trying to cover my nipples. Now, I'm someone that I'm not afraid that like if my nipples are showing a bit. I mostly don't wear bras, and if I do, I wear a sports bra. I think like everyone has nipples. Everyone knows women have bigger nipples than men usually. So I don't think it should be a big deal, and I think most bras are uncomfortable, so I just stopped wearing them like a long time ago. I don't remember the last time I wore an actual bra. Like, it's definitely been 5 more years than that. I just don't wear them. So I wasn't wearing one in this. I think there's a piece of hair on my lips. I think I got it. Not only were my nipples just like you could draw around like very clear outline. I feel like even like my boobs, like the outline, the shape of my boobs was very obvious, which like is just not something I would wear on a day-to-day basis. When I showed this to Corey, he was like, oh, like that would be a nice beach cover up, which I actually agree. And if you're wanting to get something, I would recommend this, especially as a beach cover up. Or if you like, I have pretty small boobs, but like they're, I would say like a B or a very small C, so they're not super small. But if you have like an A cup or like just barely an A, I would actually really recommend this, especially if you're a more petite girl. Again, I do have a butt, I have hips, I have legs, so it was just like it's a little bit more flashy and actually quite short on me. And then here I just wanted to show you a close-up of the design. I really do think the design of it is really flattering. I love the little spaghetti straps around your neck. I think it makes your shoulders look great. And then I love the back, how it kind of goes in that taper. And I think it just makes your back look like, it makes you come down like a V. It's the illusion of giving you like a smaller waist, wider, bigger shoulders, which is the look I like. The last thing from Joah Brown were their balanced leggings in pearl gray flex rib. And these did not fit me at all. So normally even when you look at this site, you can't tell that these leggings are like a cloth fabric texture. I don't know. They're basically long johns. Like, they're exactly long johns. And on the site, it does not look like that. And when I think of leggings, I think of either like cotton or like hopefully elastic, things like that, like, you know, legging texture, like the silky legging texture. What's it called? I feel like it starts with an R. It's not coming to me right now. So I thought it was going to be like that. When I buy leggings, even though my legs are very big, because my waist is smaller, if I buy leggings in anything over a size medium, it just does not stay up. It's way too loose on my waist. It does that little gaping thing, which I really hate. And because leggings are usually stretchy, I'm okay if they're tighter on my legs and stretch over my legs. What's more important to me is that while I'm working out, it stays up on my waist, because it's really annoying to always be adjusting while you're working out, especially if you're doing a more high intensity, like jumping, running, workout, something like that. So instead of getting these in, so they do the little half size thing, it's either small, medium, or medium large. I was like, okay, well, I have to get the small medium. So I get the medium large, it is just not going to fit on my waist. But if I had known if these are basically long johns, I definitely would have gotten the medium large. And I try to show you me pulling them up as much as possible, and they will not go over my butt. They're like, nope, not. So I got them basically up, but as you can see in the video, like, the line is not where it's supposed to be, because it is just way too small on my butt. Like, my butt is like, nope, we're not passing, this is not passing us. Oh, all right, I ran out of room on my camera. I've done that twice while I'm filming like a talking video here, so I do apologize. I'm not going to do that again. I need to be prepared for my video. Anyway, so what I was saying, if I had known it was going to be like a long johns, basically, I would have gotten a medium large. And regardless, these balanced leggings were $92. For how much leggings are nowadays, I don't think that's too bad, but I think these aren't nice at all. Like, I don't know where I'd wear them. Like, I definitely want to wear them to work out, because it would just be so sweaty. I would maybe wear them to sleep, but who the heck spends $92 on what they're sleeping in? I wear like whatever to sleep. But yeah, so definitely not that one. That was everything that I got from Joah Brown and Boohoo. As you can see, some of the pieces were like dupes. Boohoo joggers were dupes for the oversized Joah Brown joggers. I would say that the Boohoo ones for price and quality beat out the Joah Brown ones. And then for the draw cord cropped hoodie, I would say that actually for price that the Joah Brown beat out the Boohoo ones. Even though they are much more expensive, I do think I would, if I had to purchase one, I would stick with the Joah Brown one. And then I also just wanted to show some other pieces from both stores to see the quality of both of them. If you do end up shopping at Joah Brown, or if you have already, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy hanging out with me. Bye.